Hello everyone, today in this video we'll fight against the advanced character of our world around us, and in connection to yesterday's video we will go and talk about one aspect of 19th century. But this will be taken within the framework of historical and literary achievement, and the writer who I mentioned and his book is Mr. Frederick Masson, and his book, actually collection of essays about Napoleon Bonaparte, which was entitled in translation into my native language before 100 years ago. Why I say it? Because this book was published in 1805, so it was the apogee of Napoleonic state, 1 year after the coronation to the emperor by Napoleon himself, or emperor of the French, not of the France. And 100 years ago, 100 years later, Mr. Masson, Frederick Masson, very good historian of Napoleonic era, published his book, collection of essays, entitled collectively 100 years ago. So we see that more or less it covers a span of time 100 years, more or less entire 19th century, and we go back from this industrialized, technologically advanced and very much populated end of the 19th century in terms of long century, concept of Mr. Eric Hobsbawm, 1789 to 1914, and we see that this story collection of essays 100 years ago by Mr. Frederick Masson shows us how much the world changed. And I really like the sentence that we can find in one of the first essay, that now on the thrones of Europe we have descendants of those who defeated his favorite historical hero. Of course, books and essay of Mr. Frederick Masson about Napoleon Bonaparte are full of admiration, full of incredibly high, I would say, infinitive love towards Napoleon Bonaparte. And so if someone doesn't like this historical figure, or simply if this historical figure for what reason ever irritates the potential reader, please don't read any of the books of Mr. Frederick Masson, but then you will lose a lot, because he was, Mr. Frederick Masson, great writer and great historian, and he actually, it's very interesting story how Mr. Masson, being in his mid-20s, became avid admirer of Napoleon Bonaparte. It happened, of course, after the defeat in 1871. Mr. Frederick, younger one, understood what were mistakes of French nation and French states, that it led them to defeat. Therefore, he decided to dedicate for studying the greatest period in the French history, when they were the number one on the map of the world. And he produced many beautiful essays and books about any aspects of life of Napoleon Bonaparte, and of course person who were close to him. This is also valuable source of information about the daily life and etiquette and habits of these people, and also mentality, what type of mentality they had. But as I also told you, this is perfectly written text with a lot of historical information, and it shows us a nice, I would say, framework that opens the topic Mr. Masson is writing about, opens 19th century and almost closes it. So the times in which Mr. Masson, 100 years later, was writing his essays about the events which were with respect to his times 100 years back. So this is beautiful framework which opens and because of the content and closes because of the time in which it was written, the 19th century. All the best, have a nice day, bye.